Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TMR Sports exclusive presentation of UVF Intramural Basketball. It is night number 6, I believe, in our coverage this season. It could be more, it could be less. I don't remember offhand. It's been a crazy season so far. We've gotten about 34 games for each team in. This will be game number 4 for Little Nicky and the High Rollers against the Super Squad, who is a undefeated 3-0 right now. Mikey Edwards here to call this game, the 9 o'clock game here. The Mercedes Bellinger, Jalen Archer coached Super Squad, led by facilitators Ron Shea Vargas and Craig Lahr, big three-point shooter in Demetrius Muse, and postman Mike Stum. Against the fresh-faced Lil Nicky and the High Rollers, Jaybird's team previously known in the past. I referred to them as the High Wallers the other day. My apologies on that. I found out Aaron Holmes actually had opted out of his contract with the Kingsmen, and then he went to play for the Warriors, I believe. I don't remember offhand, but I do know he was on another squad before coming to the High Rollers, and the High Rollers seemed to be a good fit. He signed a 2-year contract with them, so lasting through the end of the 2016 season. So hopefully we'll see how that pans out for them. They will be also, the High Rollers will also be dealing with Spider-Man Roger Erdvig. He's he has a presence down low, so we're gonna see how this happens. The High Rollers also have Nate Potter, Bryce Cook, the aforementioned Aaron Holmes, and Matt Godfrey. I believe they're missing. No, they're not. I think they got enough players. Kyler Cedarwall. They are short of one or two, but we have. We mentioned pretty much a lot of the big players for both squads. So we are looking forward to tonight's action. Don't have too much time for a pregame interview with any of the players. We'll try to get a post-game interview with maybe Captain America Craig Lahr. Craig Lahr, a huge facilitator in the previous game with the Super Squad against a staff team that you have to admit is feisty. It struggled, but it had their feistiness. So Green Lantern Demetrius Muse just needs to get his shirt for tonight's action. John Kennan Graves also in for the also a player on the Super Squad. He's the Flash. I had joked with Ron Shea Vargas, who wears a Batman shirt, that he that I if I were on that team, I would kind of be Flash because I can get up and down the court quick as they were able to see in our prior action uh, last week. Again, staff team coming off a huge win, 72-39. Lil Nicky and the High Rollers a are in at 1-2 on the season with their win against the struggling UVF Rockets. They're struggling with communication and just complete overall teamwork and team play. So I mean, it's hard to see them play because you see they have the heart, you see they have the talent, but it's just not coming across as a great uh, thing. We actually do have a little bit of time before action gets underway. We're going to see if we can get a pregame interview. Let's head on down and see if we lose any audio signal. Our apologies in this. We're going to try to get a pregame interview here. So let me check. Game interview here with Bryce Cook of Lil Nicky and the High Rollers. Now, Bryce, this is gonna super squad team. You know who the facilitators are. So, or from as you guys are facing this tough super squad team, I don't see Mike Stum. That could be a big help for you guys.
Hold on. Well, yeah, they don't have Mike Stum tonight, so that's going to be a big hurt for them. We're still going to have to watch out for Coach Ron. He's probably the only one we have to worry about. Greg Lahr, we know he's been battling the knee and wrist injuries, so I don't think he's going to be a factor in tonight's game. He wears Captain America, but there's nothing patriotic about him.
Ooh. And so, straight up, I was standing right there. Was hoping to try to get something with him, but he is actually back on the other side of the court. But we are looking at this as going to be an intense game. I realize, Coach, that Mike Stum has not entered the building, so this is going to be interesting. Let me see about getting a pregame interview with Jalen Archer of the Super Squad.
Yeah.
And Jalen,
we going. Yo, Mike, yo.
Hey, this is my show.
Yo, I can't hold the mic. All right, here we go. All right. So I'm here with Mikey. On what's the show called?
Mikey report.
I'm here with Mikey on the Mikey report. My team Super Squad gonna get the dub out here. Yo, JT, yo, come here. Can I interview JT?
Nah. This is supposed to be. Jalen, this is supposed to be a legit pregame interview. Now,
All right.
okay, legit pregame interview, Jalen. Now your team's coming in at 3-0 right now. Came off a huge win against the staff team the other night, 72-39. The Lil Nicky and the High Rollers, they're coming in off of a split on Thursday night. So what are you expecting from your team? You guys are short your big man in Mike Stum and Mike Valeria. So what are you looking at tonight?
Man, we looking at we're gonna run them. We're gonna run. We're gonna run a lot, and we're gonna get them tired. They don't look as they're not as in shape as us. Coach Ron runs 5,000 miles a day. Meach runs 500 miles a day. Craig runs 100,000 miles a day. And Jiz. Oh yeah, and my coaching staff. Talk to Sadie. She's the assistant coach. Go assistant head coach, because we do.
All right. as I'm here with Sadie Bellinger.
How you doing?
I'm good. Uh, so, Sadie, you know this is going to be another tough game for your squad. Were you expecting out your team tonight?
I'm expecting us to go hard. We won it. We 3-0 right now. We're undefeated, and that's how we're gonna keep it. Michael Stum is not here today, but it doesn't stop us. We're a little smaller than what we usually go. We're missing Micah. We're missing Stum, but as usual, we're gonna give it our all. We leave our hearts on the floor day and night. So that's what we're gonna do, and that's it. We're a team. We call Super Squad for a reason, Mikey.
Well, you still got your 3-point shooter in Demetrius now. In pregame warmups, he doesn't look like he's been on the money. Is that a concern to you, or you think he'll turn it on during the game?
Oh, Demetrius Muse is a turn up player. When it's time for them threes to go splash, they're gonna go splash. So I'm not worried about that. He actually started warming up pregame, so I'm just looking forward to us. I want him, Demetrius, to have a big night, so we're looking forward to him scoring. This is his scoring game. So talk to me later, and I'll let you know what's going on there.
Sadie, thank you so much. And we will be back with more TMR Sports coverage here inside the pit right after this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Once again, TMR's exclusive coverage. UVF Intramural basketball here inside the Patriot Pit. Again, we are missing two two tall people for the Super Squad in Superman Michael Sum and the Beast Michael Valerius, but they are not here, so it is going to be interesting to see how these two teams match up with each other all around the same height, so that will be a plus. Again, we have Sadie Bellinger and Jalen Nordshurt as the coaches of Super Squad. Looks like John Manning will be on the court, even with a fracture on the side of his right foot. It didn't stop him the other night, as he was playing on it against the staff in a close 66-61 loss. He was on the money from beyond. So if I spoke with him pregame earlier today, and he said as long as the triples are knocking down, they should not have too much of an issue to match up. So, but I am concerned because as they referred, as they relayed in pregame, the Super Squad does have the speed with all the runners between all the teams. So we shall see. We got Thorne McIntosh and JT Taylor refing tonight's action. The greatest refing team, I think, here in intramural action tonight. And we are just about ready to get this game started here. We are starting with, we have Kenning Graves, Erdvig, Vargas, Muse, and Lar. No subs, which is a traditional setup for Vargas, for a Vargas-led squad. One sub for the High Rollers, and that is Aaron Holmes. And here we go as we're underway, and the High Rollers get the tip. misses rebound. Kicked back out to Manning. Manning, fadeaway deuce, and no good. Rebound by Kenny Graves. Flash taking it up. Lar kicked out to Kenny Graves. Graves tried for the three. Swung around to a huge facilitator, Ranche Vargas. Or to Demetrius Muse, who steps in for a deuce. No good. Rebounded by Potter. Over to Godfrey. Swung to Manning. Manning coming on the near side. Spots up for a triple. No good. Rebound by Lar. Lar guarded by Cedarwall. Now Sweat. And they're running 2-3 zone, it looks like. Muse for three. In and out. Rebounded by Potter. Manning kicks to Cedarwall. Cedarwall guarded by Lar. Out to Potter. Looks like both teams are running 2-3 zone right now. Stolen away by Muse. Muse driving, kicks out to Vargas. Vargas told me that he's trying to avoid actually shooting at all this season because he wants to go into the record books as not having attempted a field goal in the season. As Bryce Cook tries to put it up, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Super Squad. Cedarwall knocks down a triple, and that is our first lead of the game. Lar drives, can't get it to go. Grabbed by Cedarwall. Cedarwall gets it up to Manning. Manning driving in, no good. Grabbed by Cedarwall. Flash gets a little height with the breakaway for two. Kenny Graves with two to put the Super Squad on the board. Cedarwall gets it out to Manning. A little tighter coverage, but now back over to man defense, it looks like. Potter off the leg of Godfrey. It's Super Squad ball. Lar to Kenny Graves, who spots up baseline tray. No good. Rebound by Godfrey. Godfrey gets it over to Manning, who brings it across the half court. And Manning knocks down a three. Lar misses. Tipped in by Erdvig. Actually, I think they called that a 2 and not a 3 for Manning. It's 5-4. Godfrey over to Cook. Bryce is fouled in route to the hoop. Bryce Cook stepping to the line. Was calling himself Bryce Wayne. Bruce, for those you superhero fans, you know that Bruce Wayne is the actual person in actual character that plays Batman. Cook missed both free throws. Kenny Graves for two with the Super Squad first lead. Aaron Holmes checked in for John Manning. Holmes another 3-point shooter. So they got quite a few 3-point shooters. So Holmes gets it stolen away. Didn't have enough help. And Muse spots up, no good. Rebound by Cook. Cook throws it away. That's second straight turnover for the High Rollers. As Godfrey tries to get help, he had some help. He just had to get to it. Cedarwall taking it across the far side here. Bryce out to Holmes. Holmes kicks it over to Potter. Misses and it's out of play. Six to 5, 13:45 left in this first half so far. Erdvig down and a foul. Roger Erdvig had his spidey senses tingling as he picks up the and one. Score currently 8 to 5. And Demetrius Muse grabs the dead ball rebound. Muse drives, gets it to go. Muse not hitting the threes yet, but he's got points on the board. It's 10 to 5. Cedarwall on our near side here. Jump ball in favor of the Super Squad. Lar tries to get it to Muse. Deflected away into the hands of the High Rollers as Holmes takes a gambling shot. No good. Lar gets the deuce. Short range deuce, 12 to 5. The score, Holmes guarded by Vargas. And gets it over to Bryce Cook, and who lays it in? 12 to 7. Have to admit that was a risky play, but the gamble paid off. Yes, I am using puns, and I enjoy it as Demetrius Muse, the Green Lantern, lights it up. Cedarwall. Potter tries to get it. Cedarwall kicks it out to Holmes. Knocks down. And a foul. That's a 3-and-1 as Holmes goes to the line. 15 to 10 the score with 11:20 to go. We thank you all for tuning in to exclusive TMR coverage. As we approach the 11-minute mark here in the first half of the first game. Vargas over to Kenny Graves. Over to Lar. Lar, a huge facilitator in that game against Staff, along with Vargas. Graves trying to do something fancy. Luckily enough, gets it to Captain America. Flash trying to do something flashy, but not flashy enough. As Lantern lights it up again. Second triple for Muse. 8 points on the night. That's our differential. Holmes. 3 and knocks down the baseline. Muse can't get it to go. Last touch by the Flash. And a timeout is called at 10 0-1 left, 18-13. The sad part, I think this is probably the most media we've had all night for intramural coverage. We got like 3 camera people here right now, not including TMR's exclusive coverage of UVF Intramural Sports. Have to admit, this is intriguing, to say the least. You got Aaron Holmes, who just spotted up for 6 points. He could have had 7 if he made the N1, but we got 6 points for Holmes. 6 points for Holmes. We got 8 points for Muse. At first, I didn't think this was going to be a high-scoring affair with the first minute and a half being scoreless, but things can change in an instant. This seems like a pretty fun outing for the squads right now. Manning back in for Cuck, actually. They were actually running with only 4. Godfrey gets around Ervig. Board grab by Lar. Lar gets it to go. Manning playing with like a like a strapped sandal. Like we said, he does have a fracture. As Godfrey shoots a triple and he knocks down. We knew they had shooters, but we didn't know that they were gonna keep it this close. That's what happens when you don't have your true big man in Michael Stum. You can't get his outlet. You can't get the outlet passes to him for the transitional fast break and the runaways. Vargas last touch stays here with the high rollers. I have to admit, high rollers are keeping it closer than any other team besides Prime Time so far. So I'm intrigued as Manning misses a triple. The grab by Lar. Lar, guarded by Manning, passes to Muse. Muse drives middle. Muse gets the bucket. 22-16. Manning over to Holmes. Holmes over to Potter. Potter to Holmes. Holmes trying to do his hard work and down low. Can't get it to go. Grabbed by Muse. Muse tries to get it to Kenan Graves. Kenan Graves flashed inside, but he was supposed to stay out for that pass. Graves is like, my bad. It's all good. Manning drives. Tries to get a foul. Doesn't get it, but he gets the bucket anyway. 22-18. Lar over to Erdvig for 2. He's got 4. 24-18. Holmes 3. No good. Lar to Muse. Muse luckily enough to get it out to Vargas, who kicks it to Lar for 3. No good. Rebounded by John Manning. And Jaybird over to Holmes, and he knocks down, keeping it to a 4-point differential with under 7 to go. Cedarwall over to Manning. Manning with a deep triple, and he nothing but net. 24-23. High rollers are rolling. And Erdvig's webby hands do not grasp it. High roller ball. Manning. Drive. No good. Rebound by Godfrey. Pass over to Manning. Manning with the bucket and a foul. 25-24. Second lead change of the day. This time, the high roller favor Manning. Gets the N1. 26-24. Cuck comes back in for Godfrey. Keeping legs fresh as much as possible with only a 6-man rotation. Vargas over to Graves. Kicked over to Lar. Back out to Ken and Graves. Graves debating on taking a shot. Passes over to Vargas. Kicks it over to Muse. Muse deep three. Knocks it down. 27-26. It's a back and forth battle here in the pit. Under 5 to go. Cedarwall for 3. No good. Rebounded by Muse. Muse loses it to Manning. The Green Lantern just got his candle burnt. Manning, another deep 3. That hits off the back of the rim. Holmes doesn't get the 3. Rebounded by Vargas. Kicked up to Muse quickly. Muse going for 2. Does not get it to go. Graves right there to pick up the board. Deep pass out of... That actually wasn't out of bounds, but Taylor did not see that. No harm, no foul, thankfully enough, as no bucket was made. We would have to really talk to Taylor about that one. Lar, no good, gets his own board. Steps out for 3, no good. Rebounded by Ken Graves. Ken Graves, no good. Grabbed by Ervig, no good. Ultimately grabbed by Manning, and a timeout call? I believe, yes, that was a timeout call. 3:31 left, 27-26 in favor of the Super Squad. This is closer than anyone actually expected. Keep in tune here to TMR Sports. We will be back. Looks like Warriors and Primetime are coming up next here on, or is it Warriors and Primetime or Warriors and Kingsman? I don't know which one we got, but we'll see which one we got when we get closer to the time here. We'll be back. Now we have to go back to that pass from Graves to Muse. Muse did step out of bounds. There was no call because I don't think Taylor noticed. We'll have to ask we might have to ask JT Taylor about that. He probably did not see it. As we assume that he didn't. So Holmes for 3. Doesn't get it. Potter tries to rebound by Godfrey. Muse stepped out of play, so call by the call by Thorne McIntosh for the foot being out of play. Second time his foot was out of play. First time it was called. I hope when JT Taylor watches this tape, he'll know. Godfrey drives. He'll go to line, shooting a pair to try to get this back to a tie and a 1-point lead for the High Rollers. Coming down to about 2 minutes left here in this first half, 27-26. Lar picks it up. Pass up to Muse. Muse drives. And Holmes can't keep up with the lantern. 29-26. As Godfrey trying to get some help. And a foul by Muse on the floor. That does help the High Rollers. Holmes kicks it out to Cook. Cook drives. Rebound by Potter and the putback. 29-28. 80 seconds left here in this first half as Lar fakes a three, drives. And a hip check called against Cedarwall. Pass out to Vargas. Vargas actually does take a three and he hits it, so his field goal attempt record is not going to happen. But he won money. We will have to talk to Ron Vargas on that one. Potter out of play. As the time is ticking away, under a minute to go, we're about. And Demetrius Muse calls Air Jordan. 34-28. An offensive foul call against Holmes. I think this is the first offensive foul call against any team this intramural site. Muse for three, no good. Cook over to Holmes. Holmes, and that is the buzzer, even though there was no horn. 34-28 in favor of the Super Squad. We'll take a little quick intermission. We'll be back after this here on TMR. So, Coach Jalen Archer, halftime here, your team's up 6. You guys are looking good. They're holding tough, though. So, what's your thoughts on this?
We just got to shut down Jay Bird. Jay Bird is he's doing a lot for that team. We got to box out and rebound, and we just got to do the necessary things to win this game. Demetrius Muse is playing a very great basketball game right now. We got to keep beating him and and let him orchestrate our offense right now. And we play good on ball defense, Coach Ron. We just gotta keep playing as a team, man. We just gotta keep playing as a team.
I have to admit, I saw something I've rarely seen, and that's Ronche Vargas taking a shot, and actually a 3-point shot and knocking it down. Your thoughts on that quickly before we get back into action here?
I'm happy he took the shot. It's about time.
Thanks. All right, back to TMR coverage here. Second half action on just about to get underway here. 34-28 the score. As we are back in action here. Potter kicks it to Godfrey. Godfrey misses. Rebound by Lar. Kenny Graves drives and knocks down. Pass up to Bryce Cook, over to Matt Godfrey, and Lar with some good defensive prowess. Ball stays in the favor of the High Rollers, but not anymore as Manning misses a three. Kenny Graves drives, no good. Rebounded by Potter. Potter called for a travel. It's super squad ball. Inbound play is just underneath our camera, so pardon our footage for those who can't quite see it. Muse drives, and that's fouled en route to the hoop. Muse will try to earn at the line. He's got, I believe, 10 of the 28 right now. Or 10 of the 36. He might have more. I'd have to check our stats again on it. Muse kicks out to Graves. Graves 4-3, no good. Grabbed by Muse. Muse drives. Gets it to go. 38-28. Four-point run to start the second half as Godfrey tries to go against Spider-Man and doesn't get it to go. Good quick passing from Graves to Muse, and Muse knocks down another pair. Muse with 4.5. Manning to Cedarwall. Cedarwall 4-3. He'll be shooting three. 40-28. Yes, I believe it is the Warriors versus Prime Time tonight. So this will be an intriguing matchup for both squads. Both squads with former basketball players. Primetime with Tony Malone and Isaiah Carson. Warriors with Latrell Alford. You don't want to miss that action coming up here at 10 o'clock on TMR Sports. Lar loses it to Cuck. Over to Manning, kicks out to Godfrey. Godfrey 4-3, deep two, no good. Potter gets it to go. Don't count the High Rollers out. They have taken some gambling shots, and it has paid off. It's 40-33. Erdvig misses, rebounded by Kenny Graves. Muse 4-3, no good. Grabbed by Godfrey. Godfrey gets it over to Manning. Manning again playing with the fractured right foot. Muse slams it down. 42-33, his second dunk of the night. Muse spots up for three, no good. Muse becoming a huge versatile player for the Super Squad tonight, with them playing with a short on height and also short in number, as they only have 5 players. So coaches Bellinger and Archer are trying to make sure their team gets enough rest, even though they are very athletic, so to speak. Lahr drives for the pair. Now, I did not make a mention. Most Vargas, Muse, Lahr, and Stum have played basketball for the actual collegiate team. Vargas was playing in the years after Coach John Mack graduated 2005. Craig Lahr graduated a few years ago. Came in as a student my first year here and played in the last couple. Demetrius Muse was a player last season, but not not actually did not play this season. Mike Stum graduated a couple years ago, was about second highest in points. Or no, he's about third or fourth. Third in guys, fourth overall, I think. Like I said, I'll have to check the 1500 point club board again. The banner on the far side. And Cedarwall knocks down a three, as it is 44-37. Muse drives, count it. 46-37, 13 minutes left to go. Bryce Cook drives, doesn't get it to go. Grabbed by Muse. Muse all alone. And the two-handed slam-a-jamma. Third dunk of the night, 48-37. Graves to Muse, back to Graves. Cook with the foul. Graves with the bucket. And one. (50-37) with 12:15 left to go. Aaron Holmes had checked back in for the High Rollers. Cedarwall. I have to admit, there are a lot of shooters on the squad. I'll check in with Bryce Cook after tonight's action to see what possibly went wrong. Because they've just let Demetrius Muse just take it to the house. Now 4 times tonight. Muse doesn't have to worry usually about the dunking. He's got Mike Stum for that. Lahr to Muse. The outlet passing, and number 5. Number 5. Timeout called by John Manning, the lead dog of Little Nicky and the High Rollers. 11:23 left, 55-37. We'll be back. And I see the guys from room 107 actually here in action, chilling tonight. We got a decent crowd here on hand. not too shabby considering a Monday night right before Easter. I hope we'll wish everyone a nice, good, happy Easter later on. As Manning comes back in for Potter, as Godfrey shoots a three, no good. Rebounded by Cedarwall. Cedarwall gets it out to Cook at the top of the key for three, no good. And both referees call last touch by the High Rollers. Craig Lohr for the Deuce, 57-37. Needless to say, wrists and ankles are not a factor for him tonight. Lohr is definitely doing well, moving the ball around. Have to admit, Holmes knocks it down off the inbound from Cedarwall. Muse drives, kicks it to Ervig, no good. Rebound to Cedarwall. Cedarwall up to Manning. Manning, free, knockdown. 57-42, 10 to go. Kenan Graves tries to get into Erdvig, but the outstretched hand of Bryce Cook knocks it away. Kenan Graves, no good, rebounded by Cook. Out to Holmes quickly. Holmes kicks it to Cedarwall. Back to Holmes for three. The open look, no good. Rebounded by Vargas. Vargas over to Lar. Lar, drive, foul. Doesn't get it to go, but he'll go to the line, shoot in a pair. 57-42. Manning getting in the face of Lar, but it looks like all fun. So, Lar knocks down the first of two. And he knocks down second, 59-42. 8.5 left. Kind of more of a runaway now with... and Holmes goes to the line with the and one. Erdvig trying to get Holmes caught in his web. But Erdvig got caught with the foul. Holmes knocks down the and one. 59-45. Aaron Holmes definitely told me he felt comfortable playing with this squad as Kenan Graves stepped out of bounds. Bryce Cook to the hoop. 59-47. I mean, 12-point differential. It's not insurmountable in this next 7:25. The High Rollers just cannot be trading baskets with the Super Squad right now. As Potter is getting ready to check back in, Lar shoots it. No good. Rebound by Cedarwall. Manning gets around Muse. Fade away. Knockdown. 59-49. Is it 49 or 40? Yes, 49. as Kenny Graves looks for a triple, no good. Rebounded by Manning. Manning almost loses it. Gets it back. And that's a huge reaching foul against Kenny Graves. Ball stays with the High Rollers. I mean, Kenny Graves was all over on that. Manning gets around defense into Holmes. Holmes for two. And like I said, not out of it. 59-51. 6 minutes to go. Again, the trading bat. They're not really trading baskets right now. Lar steps up and knocks down a pair. Now it's a little trading basket here. Back to a 10-point lead for the Super Squad. Manning goes right for three. No good. Rebounded by Erdvig. Captain America showing his patriotism here in the pit. Vargas over to Muse. Muse gets fouled by Manning. No foul. Graves over to Lar. Lar with the N1, his second trip to the line, but this time only for one. Two or three. Manning throws off the Lar a little bit. Manning tries to get it into Godfrey, but the flash grabs it, but goes out of bounds with the ball. Ball cannot be hit. No putter. The ball handler can step out of bounds. Manning just trying to do these fadeaways, and it's not happening. Cedarwall not checking in yet. 63-51, under 4 to go here. Ronche Vargas. Dark Knight. Over to Muse, the Green Lantern, no good. Godfrey over to Manning. Manning kicks it to Cook. Cook can't get it to go. Over to Lar. Lar drives, gets it to go. Lar with the last few points for the Super Squad, 65-53. Manning, drive, no good. Rebound by Vargas, 65-53. Muse. Almost stolen away. Grabbed by Lar. Lar gets it to Vargas. Vargas kicks it over to Graves. Graves back up to Roger. No good. Grabbed by Godfrey. Passed quickly to Holmes. Holmes, drive, lay in for two. 65-55. 2:30 left. Now the High Rollers are working against the clock. Timeout called at 2:20. 65-55 left to go. Been a pretty intense matchup. We're just running, I think, slightly behind schedule right now. We're managing right now, I think, though. It's been a pretty good game so far between both squads. Once again, 65-55, 2:20 left to go in this contest between Lil Nicky and the High Rollers and Super Squad. Super Squad with the lead right now. We'll be going to our second game, Warriors versus Primetime, momentarily once they get underway. We'll have a quick break to try to get a quick post-game interview with either one of the coaches of Super Squad or one of the players, and then talk with the High Rollers, see what we can get from them, see what how happy they are with their play, or if they're disgusted a little bit, if things just things just didn't go their way. Graves drives, bucket. Holmes looked like on that turnover he turned something. He's grimacing right now, trying to move around that ankle. His brother Ethan Holmes plays for Primetime. Godfrey misses a three. Rebound by Cedarwall, kicked out to Holmes. Holmes steps in for two, knocks down. 90 seconds left, 67-57. Muse drives, gets it to go. Cedarwall. Flashes into Godfrey. And the fortunate thing is Godfrey knocks it off the defender. And we are down to a minute here. Cedarwall, three, no good. Rebound by Erdvig. Kenning Graves, three. Knocks it down, 72-57. Matches the season high point total for Super Squad as we have 30 seconds left, 72-57. Out of play again as our clock operator was letting this time run. Cedarwall going around. Godfrey gets his own. Cuck for three. No good. Grabbed by Erdvig. Over to Kenning Graves. Graves passes to Erdvig. Blocked by Potter. Grabbed by Muse as Muse shoots the three, and that will end the game 72-57 in favor of the Super Squad. We'll be back with the next game in just a moment. We're taking time for some post-game interviews here. Gotta get my legs moving here. Let me see if I can get a here with one. I'm here with Coach Sadie Bellinger, post-game interview. You guys pulled it away.
Well, I mean, I told you Demetrius Muse was going to go off when you interviewed me earlier. I told you what was going to happen, and I mean, he was on a roll. He was shooting very well, and I told them, just keep on out, go fast. We were faster than them. Our pace was faster than them. We were shooting better than them. So what we did was we kept that up, and it led us to a win, and now we're 4-0. People said we couldn't win without Michael Stum, but I mean, we're proving today that we can win without Michael Stum, and people need to be very aware and very, very afraid. So
Go back to that. You're
I was kind of afraid because I didn't want them to get hot. That was my thing. I said, "Oh, wow, like I don't know what's going to happen." So it was surprising, but I'm happy the way how it went. Everything went exactly how we wanted it to go. And when they came over and when we called timeout, we let them breathe because we didn't have a bench today. And we went out here with 5 players, no bench, and I think we did very well. We did very well today. So I'm really proud of my players, and I'm ready for them to, just get some.
Yeah, this is the actually you guys scored the same amount in the last game against the staff, so uh, averaging 72 points in the last couple games. So it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out throughout the season for you guys. I'm definitely happy that you guys are doing well, even without the tall men. So
When you have heart in basketball, then anything is possible, Mikey. Anything is possible.
exactly. And the next game we have Primetime Warriors. What's your viewpoint on this? No problems. All right, we'll be getting underway with this second game between Warriors and Primetime momentarily. Hey, Bryce. I mean, how about you gonna join me in the? Okay. All right. So well, we got 72-57. You guys held tough in that first half. What's your thoughts on how you guys played? I mean, you have to be proud of your squad tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the effort we showed tonight, they didn't have stumps, so they weren't coming out as hard as they could have been off the gate. I'd say I successfully shut down Craig Lahr for the record. He didn't have that many buckets. We crossed him over a few good times, but I love the heart. The guys we played with tonight, they showed a lot of heart. It wasn't our strongest squad, but we came out. John Manning, terrific job to him playing on 1 foot. He's better than most players are on 2, so I can't say enough about him. The rest were terrific. So I'm just looking forward to a strong second game.
So I'm looking forward to this next game, Warriors prime time. I mean, you got former players, Latrell Alford on the Warriors, and you got Tony Malone and Isaiah Carson for the prime time. So what's your outlook? I know you and I are going to talk a lot about that during the next game. So
Yeah, this team has Latrell, and he's a factor anywhere he goes. Division 4, just terrific athlete. Zay Carson, I think he's overrated. I just think he's not that good. I think he's washed up. That ACL, I don't think he ever fully recovered. We call him D-Zay, D-Rose. So, I mean, I'm looking for him to get fried tonight. So I think it's going to be the Latrell show, honestly.
all right, well, I'm looking forward to having you up in the booth. Get yourself a breather. So I already talked with Sadie's, Jalen. So we got JT Taylor and Jalen Archer reffing this second game between Warriors and Primetime. So this is going to be interesting. Let's talk here with Aaron Holmes quick. Going with this game, Aaron. This was a tough game for you guys. You were telling me earlier in the week how you felt comfortable with this team, with the high rollers, and you guys were taking a lot of high rolling shots,
Right.
and some of them were going down, some of them weren't. Take me through what you were thinking throughout tonight's action.
Well, honestly, we were just trying to really get our shots to fall, and we knew that in this game, if we kept shooting like this, we would live or die by the 3, and at least the deep shot, and that's essentially what happened. Game we tried to get some pump fakes and some cuts to the basket to draw some fouls, but it was a little bit too late. So
Well, I game, he seemed like going points or more game. You expect him to be more impressive, or do you think one of these other players in Warriors or Primetime are going to kind of steal the show?
Well, players that can cover him, as long as they don't forget about him on the baseline and how he camps out like that, I think they should do a good job defending him and keeping under 10 points. Yeah, it definitely should be a good matchup. I'm definitely going to stick around for this one.
Tonight, our call upstairs, so no problem. Thank you. We'll be back with more coverage here on TMR in just a moment. All right, for those of you who were, we just went through all the post-game interviews of that last game and got outlooks of the next game here between Primetime and Warriors. Zach Barbary, Shatir Monroe, Tim Jackson, Isaiah Carson, and Tony Malone starting on court for Primetime. Looks like RJ Baskin, Kenny Murray, Latrell Alford, Emion Toms, and Preston Saunders will be starting off for the Warriors. Looks like we have Mel Velez, who will get into action probably later, but they don't have a whole lot as action's underway. And that was and again, Jalen Archer and JT Taylor with the call as we had a little failed tip-off as the music was still playing. So we got that under control. We're underway here. Primetime ended up with the tip. Tom shooting a three, knocks down, assist by Kenny Murray. It is 3-0 in favor of the Warriors at this point. This is going to be a good game, ladies and gentlemen. As a triple is called and knocked down by, I believe, Tony Malone. So we got 3-ball on 3-ball. We got players on players. It is going to be intense. Latrell Alford, again, we've discussed before, returned as a student here after a little bit of a hiatus, playing semi-pro ball. Preston Saunders misses. Alford trying to make sure he's not the center of attention, I think, with the game, even though he is, again, the NCAA All-American from a few years back. Kenny Murray for three, in and out. Oh. You can see Latrell is trying to be more of a facilitator. So this is going to be good. Tom strives and gets fouled, trying to go in between Malone and Carson. As Toms will shoot two. Once again, second game of our TMR coverage here. We want to thank you for tuning in. Mikey Edwards here. Bryce Cook will join me a little bit later. Hopefully, as he said, he just given him a breather. Saunders for three. No good. Rebound ultimately to Emian Toms. Alford kicks it up to top to Murray. Murray for three. Off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Toms. Toms drives, pulls up for the jumper. No good. Rebounded by Tony Malone. Malone guarded by Alford. Over to Monroe. Monroe guarded by Baskin. Baskin steals it away from Monroe. Baskin pulls up. Just off the rim. Toms over to Alford. Alford going to the line. Fouled by Monroe. Have to admit, I have a real good time chatting with Mercedes Bellinger. Just as a person, doesn't have to be as a coach of a team, but as a person, she's definitely very insightful, and I appreciate that from people. And she knows what she's talking about. I've chatted with her about Patriot basketball before, so I'm very proud to say she knows what. It's nice to have someone who knows what she's talking about when it comes to to something like basketball, because you want someone who's gonna be able to give you insight. If I wasn't up here all the time, she'd probably be my broadcast partner, because I would truly enjoy that. As RJ Baskin gets it up to Saunders. Saunders can't. Alford puts it back up. 15:26 left. 6-3 the score in favor of the Warriors. Timeout is called by Prime Time. All right, we're just about ready to get back underway here between these two clubs here. Carson spots up for a triple, bricks it, rebound by Monroe. Monroe is fouled. Going up, he's gonna shoot two. 6-3 the score. This is actually gonna be probably one intense game. I didn't think we were gonna see that really from this squad due to these two teams. Well, especially at the start of the season, Warriors I didn't expect, but once Latrell Alford came got signed to the squad, I mean, it kind of has been beneficial for them throughout these last few games. So Alford flashes into Saunders, over to Murray. Murray knocks it down. Warriors are playing a few players down. I will admit that. Coach Connery Dixon and Jonathan Kenyon Chewy, they got a good squad. They just have had a little hardship to start. So stolen away by Timmy Jackson. Toms over to Murray. Murray over to Alford for three. No good. And that is in out of play in favor of primetime. Once again, looking forward to Bryce Cook joining me. Don't know where he's hiding right now. Zaya Carson coming in, and we got Brandon Barrios and Ethan Holmes in, along with kid who I don't know his name. Happens sometimes though. I'm sure once I see Bryce, he'll be able to tell me. And Murray loses it out of play. Carson bringing it up, passes over to Malone. Malone loses it. Last touch by Malone. Warrior ball, Baskin passes into Toms. Toms into Alford. Alford knocks down. 10-7 the score. 12 minutes to go here in the first half. Maybe Bryce is going to wait for the second half of action tonight. Carson misses. Rebounded by Toms. That's Toms driving down and knocks down. Quick outlet from Carson to Malone. Tries to get it to Holmes. Holmes, the big recipient of a lot of outlet passes in the Primetime's prior game. Alford kicked out to Toms. Toms. 3-second lane violation. I have to admit, I'm shocked that at this point in the game, we haven't had as much scoring. But shots are not really going down, as I was saying that as RJ Baskin passes to Preston Saunders, and that's a foul. Tony Malone going to the line. (14 to 8). Tim Jackson back in. Giving Isaiah Carson a break. Bryce was telling me about the ACL. Carson not a huge factor, but he doesn't really turn it on until late anyway. A lot of people think it's going to be the Trell show, but Trell hasn't really shown that, as Saunders misses, but Jackson gets it to... Jackson tries to get it up, but stolen away by Kenny Murray. RJ Baskin in and out. Rebound by Murray. Murray with a couple defensive plays. Gotta like that. Saunders for three. No good. Rebounded by Primetime. Pass from Jackson to Ethan Holmes, and Ethan knocks down his first bucket of the game. 14-11. Toms to Baskin, back to Toms. Over to Murray, back to Baskin. Murray, three. No good. Grabbed by Malone. Malone at the top. Off the mark. Warrior ball. Monroe back in for Barrios. $14 to 11. 8 minutes to go. Alford drives and gets it to go. Monroe drives, and it's good. Primetime with a 3-point deficit right now. 7:30 left to go. Alford passes to Toms. Toms for three, and it's good. E-Man Toms puts it to 19 to 13. Should be 19 to 13. It says 18 to 13. And we welcome Bryce Cook up here to the broadcast
How's
booth.
it going? We got a solid game going here tonight.
Yeah, both games have been solid so far tonight. As the whistle is called.
And it looks like he stepped out of bounds, Mikey, is what I believe the call is. Looks like they're going to fight it, but no go.
Yeah, speaking of an out of bounds call that actually wasn't called, it was in your guys' game. Kenan Graves was trying to pass to Demetrius Muse, and Demetrius Muse stepped out on our left side here, and JT Taylor did not call that. What's your thought about that one?
Every rep is entitled to miss one here and there. Unfortunately, that was a bigger miss for us.
As Latrell hits a three.
And a great shot by Latrell. But yeah, going back to it, it's one of those things where in the sport, it's in a sport where it's a fast-moving game as it was tonight. You're bound to miss one here or there. But overall, it was a great called game by the refs.
Yeah, it was. I do have to admit they let you guys play pretty well, and it turned out to be a solid game. It was a tough one toward the end, but you guys were able to hold your own.
Yeah, and we really hung with them as far as the first half is concerned. We were right with them with shots. The one thing we struggled with was shutting down Meach. He was hitting the three very well tonight. He just happened to be on, and that's kind of what burned us. But we figured we'd rather die by the three than just let them beat us with inside buckets all night. So we stuck to our game plan, and for the most part, we executed. We could have done a little bit better maybe on some boards, but overall, fantastic game.
Lar ended up doing. He ended up, I think, getting about 10 points tonight. So that was a tough one for you guys, because I know you wanted to shut him down. Muse had.
I think I did shut him down for the most part. I was definitely in his head, as you see down low. He missed a pair of free throws. So, obviously, I was in his head. He didn't play his best, so we had that going for us.
Yeah, 6:04 left. They are just getting out timeout here, and Demetrius Muse had 5 dunks tonight. I mean, with no Mike Stum, no Micah Valerius, he stepped up to prove to be like a big man. So,
yeah, he did, and he was probably by far their most valuable player tonight on the court. He did a lot. He hit the three. He drove hard. He played good D, and he's a finesse player. And so we just weren't really in a position to handle that tonight. But I thought we held our own.
And we're okay. Warriors primetime back in action here. Warriors are up 21 to 13 right now, as Shatir Monroe gets it for primetime. E-Man Toms with the steal for the Warriors. Toms trying to drive. Last touch by primetime. I don't know. I think Toms might have had a last touch on that one.
It looked like it was his last touch, but hey, it's going their way and they're happy with it. Good defense by Zach Barberi.
RJ Baskin passes over to Saunders, back to Baskin. Baskin into Alford. Alford, the one big key player for this team, as Saunders tries for a three, no good, rebounded by Tony Malone.
Interesting to see Tony Malone taking over some of the point guard duties. Have you noticed that? Is that a trending thing here, or has this just happened recently?
That's been a typical thing. Him and Isaiah Carson have been the typical points for the prime time in action because we do have two former players each team on these two squads.
From a Patriots team that was very successful, I might add.
Yeah, that is true. Murray shooting a three, and he knocks it down.
Wow. Murray.
Kenny Murray, he's
really come out as an X factor. He came out of nowhere. Primetime takes a chance on him, picks him up, and man, has he done a job for them here late down the stretch. In a game where you live and die by the three, and he plays fantastic. The Warriors took a chance on him. He's playing fantastic defense, and he's been hitting the three, just what they signed him to do.
And Isaiah Carson just knocks down a bucket, 24-15, about 4 minutes to go. Now, this is interesting. Primetime is down by 9. And so, I have to admit, this is an unusual situation.
This is not a hole you'd expect them to be in this early in the game. It's not even halftime, and it already seems like they're kind of struggling. Hopefully they can turn it around and give us a good showing at the second half.
Toms for three, no good, rebounded by Malone. Carson back over to Malone. Malone shoots a three. A little off balance, I might add.
A very random shot for him. Usually a very well-disciplined player. Looks for the open looks.
As
Latrell takes a hard foul down low.
Isaiah Carson with the foul, even though no personal fouls are tallied during the regular season of UVF Intramural basketball. As time ticks away, 3 minutes to go here in this first half.
And Latrell will step to the line to shoot two. Misses the first as Shatir's little brother, I forget his name, he will check in now for, I believe, prime time.
Yeah. I'll have to look that up.
They actually say Emmanuel. His name's Emmanuel. They say he's better than Shatir in most areas. He's got a fantastic power dribble. He's very quick. He's a little bit quicker than Shatir, and he can go with his right and left. Isaiah Carson, playing point, takes a three. That will not go.
His foot might have been on the line. I think it might have been a 2.
It might have been a 2. That is for sure. Pass back out to Tim Jackson. Tim Jackson over to Tony Malone. Looks down low for Emmanuel. Emmanuel goes up strong, and he'll get the bucket. Wow, and that's just what we just talked about, how he was. He's nimble. He gets to the basket, and he does that there.
Yeah, and definitely good insight there, Bryce. I have to admit, as Baskin holds on to it, swung around to Alford. Alford kicks back into Baskin. Baskin with the lay-in.
Baskin there was just in great position. They found the open man. Latrell does a good job of seeing the entire floor when he's out there, and he did that again tonight.
As Malone draws the foul, he'll be going to the line with about 90 seconds left in this first half, 27-17 in favor of the Warriors. Now, during halftime, we'll be taking a view at a season recap as Emmanuel Monroe picks up a foul as Saunders will go to the line. We'll take a look at our early season action here. Bryce and I will evaluate how the teams have been playing and what we see coming up in the next weeks.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see which teams are going to be in a position to make a long playoff run. So it'd be interesting to take a look at that and see which teams are really poised or which teams have the depth to do that.
And we'll be doing that in just about 30 seconds, as that's how much time is left on the clock. And Carson,
Goes in
no good.
strong.
Rebounded by Jackson, and he puts it up. Tim Jackson, he's a
Just a workhorse, Mikey. He just goes. He always hustles. He's not the most talented, but he has the most heart out there, and it shows because every night he's getting buckets, no matter what the team is. He's getting buckets. He's working down low, and he's getting rebounds.
Tom's for three, no good. Rebounded by Jackson.
Hey, we
and
just talked about him stolen away. We know he doesn't have the best hands. Great play, and Kenny
Kenny
misses.
Murray tries to get it at the end of the half, and it does not go. 29-19 in favor of the Warriors. We'll take a quick break here on TMR Sports. We'll be back with our halftime show in just a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with our halftime report. Bryce Cook, Mikey Edwards here. Now, Bryce, we had alluded earlier about this going into halftime about how our season's looking so far. We got a few great teams, a few mediocre teams, and some struggling teams. So,
Yeah, and it is, and it's a wide range of teams we have here this year, but all are playing very competitively given the players they have. You know, you see teams like the lower barrel, the Rockets. Some of those teams who just aren't, they just don't have the overall skill set that they're going to need to make a long playoff run. Still extremely competitive. They're doing everything they need to in this point of the season to stay where they need to do. You see teams, like the Super Squad. They don't have Stum tonight, but they still come out and put a strong performance. They find the people they need to find. Craig Lahr does a fantastic job of finding the open man. Everyone's really stepping up because as they see, it's starting to be playoff time here as the season's winding down. Players understand, hey, it's do or die.
yeah, I mean, I have to admit, the Rockets have had their struggles. I mean, they are 0-4 right now. They've lost a few players because they just not, and people think people aren't communicating. They're just not doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
What should the Rockets do to try to get back into this thing if they can at all?
And I really think what it comes down to is playing sound offense and not turning the ball over. Right now, they're just turning the ball over too much. They play good defense. They don't have like a star athlete. So what they need to do is keep working the passes, stay within themselves, do what they do best, focus on the shots that they can make, and keep trying to take those as many as possible. Eventually, if they stick with that game plan, it'll start coming together. It might not come together as quickly as they want, but it will come together soon.
All right, now you mentioned Super Squad. They're pretty much the odds-on favorite right now. We got prime time here. We got a lot of teams right at like 2-2, 1-2. Prime time, I think it's 2-1 right now. Your viewpoint in that and what they are able to, what prime time's able to do to keep it in this race.
Yeah, primetime we've seen over the years always has a great squad, but never has been able to catch up the elusive championship. I remember last year we beat them in the final. With our team was the real primetime. We came out. We were not picked to win, but we played better as a team. And you see, primetime has a lot of superstars, but they don't necessarily gel together like the way we'd like them to. Maybe later on in the season when playoffs hits and they understand that's the only way they're going to win, maybe they'll come together more as a team. But it seems like a lot of solo one-man shows out there, and it hasn't translated well on the court.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about that during our second half here. We'll go to a quick commercial. We'll be back with the start of the second half after this.
Thank you.
As we are back, ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Edwards, Bryce Cook here with our second half. Let me just try to get this camera here. Had to reposition. Sorry for any video feed. A great insight for both of us from both of us here
Fantastic.
as we're back underway here.
And Mikey, we see Primetime struggling a bit. What do you think they're going to have to do to get back into this game and make it? They're only down 10, but they're going to need somebody to step up and start making some shots.
Well, usually we see Tony Malone and Isaiah Carson knocking down, but right now they're just being outmanned right now, definitely down low. So I'm intrigued to see how they decide to work the ball around and try to get the best shots as Tim Jackson does a little off balance, but he rebounded by Alford. Alford kicks out to Saunders. Saunders over to Toms. Toms over to Baskin, back over to Toms. Out to Murray. Murray fakes a baseline tray. Passes to Baskin. Back to Alford. Definitely a lot of moving around of the ball by the Warriors, which has been a plus for them tonight as Saunders gets the bucket.
Fantastic ball movement. And that's another player I'd like to highlight. Preston Saunders does it all. Plays baseball, soccer, and now playing basketball for Intramurals. Doing a fantastic job here for the Warriors as Zach Barberi brings it up for the prime time.
Now, you mentioned baseball. I saw the games yesterday, and they were a little struggle against Lincoln Christian.
A struggle for sure. Yeah, we were definitely missing some of our better players, players that we've had all season. They were unable to make it. We had to put a couple guys on the field who hadn't played in a while, and so, I mean, given the circumstances, I thought we played really well as a team. We had some good hits. We just didn't get the, the defensive support that we were looking for. But overall, as far as where we're at in the middle of our season with what we're having to do, I think we accomplished what we set out to do. We gave the fans a good show, a great fan base we have. Just can't give enough credit to our fans who come out for all the home games. It's really been fantastic.
As Tony Malone misses a three, we reflected on it. Tony Malone is supposed to be one of the X factors for primetime, not able to get that one to go, as their primetime's down 13 in a rare view from us personally here in the booth. Carson hits it, goes for a three, no good, rebounded by Toms.
And Mikey, has it seemed that Zay Carson has just been off his game a little bit? He hasn't, we're used to seeing him put up big numbers. It doesn't seem like he's really been doing that tonight.
Jackson,
wow,
blocked by Alford, as it could have almost been like a posteration. Jackson will go to the line.
Fantastic block by Latrell Alford, but really
I have to correct myself. Jackson not going to the line on that one.
Yeah, it was on the floor. Latrell, that is just what we love to see Latrell do. Come out, make the big dunks, the big blocks, and he did that as Zay Carson hits a nice three.
Back to a 10-point game, 32-22, 16-20 left here. Now, did the games against Lancaster Bible get postponed today?
No, they did play. They just had just enough to make it out there and play today. They didn't fare so well. They lost both the games, but they really they played well. I was not able to travel with them today. I had some pending circumstances I had to take care of here. But from what I hear, they had two very competitive games. They just weren't able to bring home the W. Fun to note, we did pick up a win in Myrtle Beach against a very good team, Mount Asalagnus. So that was very good for us as a squad to really come together. So we did have one positive coming back from that trip.
Yeah, that was a good spring break trip for you guys. You had more wins during spring break than the men's basketball team, which is something of note.
I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the University of Valley Forge.
Jackson misses the lay-in, grabbed by Saunders, passed quickly up to Alford. As it is out of play. Alford had an and one just a little bit ago, making it 35-22, back to a 13-point lead with 15-10 left to go here in the game. Barberi gets it stolen away from Saunders, over to Murray for two.
And that's a good play. That's what I'd like to see from Murray. We know he can make the three, but it's nice to see him get down low and work some of his lay-ins, his layups, getting kind of down low, getting a little bit of physical. That's what I like to see. And he's a young kid. He's got plenty of time to mature, so it's good. I'm happy to see where he's at, but I'm really looking forward to see where he's going.
I'm very happy to see these outlet passes from teams that you don't expect to see them from.
Yeah, and it's been terrific ball movement this second half from the Warriors. That's one thing I love is good ball movement leads to great plays.
As Malone just hits a three, making it a 12-point game here. 37-52, 25 rather.
And Primetime needs to start hanging with him, or this game's going to turn into a blowout. As Murray goes hard, but just that's what we always say: the $1 million move with the 10-cent finish.
Malone trying to call collect, doesn't reach.
That's a good one, Mikey. I like it. Great. E-Man goes in hard. Not going to make it. Taken by Tim Jackson with Zach Barberi pressing. He's going to take the hard foul. And doesn't get it. Zach Barberi will go to the line for 2. And these are the shots they're going to have to make if they're going to stay in this game the way they want to. The one thing interesting, Primetime always acts like they have a championship team every year, and we have yet to see it in the 3 years that I've been here. I don't know if you've seen it since you've been here. They talk a very strong game, but it has never translated into a chip. They're still chasing that elusive first championship. And does it come from not playing as a team or just overhyping the moment?
It could. I think it's probably overhyping the moment because they feel like they have a strong squad. But again, like you said, always weak when it comes to some of these other teams.
Yeah, so they play to the level of the team they're playing at because last year they had a significantly better squad than the real Primetime, my team, and we were able to come out in a championship game, build the hype up, make them play on our level, slow the game down, and eventually just beat them on some fantastic couple of threes and some great defense by Ethan White. We haven't seen that this year. If there's going to be a dark horse team that's going to run out of the back of the pack and make a run for it, don't think it's going to be our team this year just due to the injuries with John Manning. Excuse me, but it does seem that I don't think the Primetime's going to win it this year. If anything, I would say Super Squad will win it.
I'm going to go out on a limb with the dark horse and say the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors look like they can do it.
And that is one team who could be the dark horse. Now, with Latrell, can you be a dark horse when you have Latrell Alford on your team? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Fantastic player. He can literally change the course of a game in one play.
Well, tonight he's been acting more like a facilitator.
Yeah, and I wonder if that is he's just as he's not staying, he's not probably not as good shape as he was when he was playing. Does playing in, night out, does it take a little wear and tear on him? He's thinking maybe tonight he'll take up a lesser role and only score if he's called on. I don't believe we've seen a dunk by him tonight.
Not yet, but I mean he hasn't really had that many opportunities for the Slamma Jamma. But it seems like I don't think he's hurting. I think he's just trying to not be like the show.
Right, and that's what we love about Latrell. He has the opportunity to take over a game, but he's so good at facilitating.
Yeah, he's a pastoral. I think pastoral or youth major. I can't remember which.
Yeah, and how much do you think of his major, his spirituality? How much do you think that plays into how he plays on the court? Because it really looks like it's showing through tonight. The mentor, the give and goes, the no look passes. It seems like I would consider him the shepherd, and the rest of the Warriors are his sheep.
Well, I do have to say that is a good viewpoint because he has been a facilitator, but I think we might have a.
He misses the dunk, and that's one thing. That's what we've seen. We said early on Latrell Alford wasn't playing his game tonight, and it really shows through there. He's been playing the facilitator. Here he goes for the dunk. Latrell never misses a dunk, and here tonight we have seen he just missed a dunk. Very unlike him. Could just be having a little off night. I don't think it's going to hurt him long down the stretch long at all.
I think that one was actually he was just trying to be a little bit fancier, but
true.
But I think Latrell actually, if he went just regular two-handed slam, I think he would have been fine. But behind the back, it just wouldn't.
The behind the back, definitely trying to put on a good show for the crowd. So
Tony Malone steps to the line here for prime time, 37-26 with 11:30 left to go. Once again, thank you for watching TMR exclusive coverage of UVF Intramural basketball, March 29th, 2015. Second game of the night between Warriors and Primetime. Warriors have a 9-point lead right now, 37-28 with about 10:45 left. Holmes grabs it, passes it up. Shatir Monroe is fouled by Saunders going up.
Snapchat. You got to get the app, Mikey. Snapchat is the new form of media. It's awesome. As Shatir hits one. Yeah, going back to the Bryce Craig matchup in the first game, you know, there was a lot of talk on what was going to happen. It wasn't quite as good of a showdown as the Craig Mikey Edwards showdown that we saw the other night, which was just absolutely legendary. I mean, I honestly, as all the years I've been a sports commentator or worked around the biz, I have never seen such just such a rivalry, such a good-hearted, fun, exciting rivalry, family-friendly. It was out here in the moment, you know, as Zach Barberi hits the deck hard. But just so much fun for the fans. They truly enjoy it. I mean, that was the loudest this gym has been probably in a couple of years.
Well, I don't think it was more so that rivalry as because yours truly wasn't really guarded on Craig as much as we thought he would.
Should have been. Yeah, honestly, they should have probably done that more.
But we were doing more like a 2-3 zone, I think, that game. So it was a little tough. But honestly, I think the big thing was the defensive play and the back-to-back triples that we saw,
and that was
in
just
that second half.
You cannot. Hollywood could have not written a better script for that. As Preston does work down low, and he'll get it to go. Preston, you know, fantastic basketball player. We weren't sure what he was going to do. He really comes out. He's playing a fantastic game here tonight. As Zay Carson has taken over all point guard duties for the prime time. Excuse me. Zach Barberi is going to dribble and drive. Gets a floater that won't go. Rebound by Preston Saunders, taken away by the Warriors. As RJ is going to bring it up the court now.
Baskin passes back to Alford.
Latrell driving in hard, passes it back out to E-Man. E-Man with the three. E-Man from downtown. As I take Mikey Edwards' line. You can't say it better, though.
44-32 with 8:21. I believe a timeout being called here at 8:21 left. And we'll take it with them. Here on the Mikey Report, stay tuned to more coverage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. 44-32, 8:21 left here in tonight's official coverage. As we got Latrell just warming up his slamma-jammas.
Which he probably should practice according to the last one I just saw.
Oh, well, that was just a straight-up two-handed slam, so not too bad on that front. As RJ Baskin slips on the court, Tony Malone knocks down a pair. E-Man Tom's missing a easy bucket there. Carson takes over, swings it to Jackson for three. Off the mark. Ethan Holmes check back in. Emmanuel Monroe gets it deflected away. Last touch by Primetime.
Now we see Latrell playing point guard. Well, not really, because they're passing up so fast. There's really no true point guard position.
That is true. As Saunders puts up the tray, no good.
Mikey, is there only 2 games tonight? Am I correct?
Yeah,
Game?
final game of
Okay.
the night.
Got some fans down below giving the Mikey Edwards report some love.
46-34, 6:50 and counting down. Alford trying to go it up and under, no good.
RJ takes a deep 3, doesn't get it to go, but Latrell's there as the guarding shepherd that he is and tucks it home. He finds that lost sheep, aka the basketball, and returns it to the flock. All 48 of them.
As that one goes down for Malone. For the and 1. 48-36, but like you said, that in the game prior, they could be working against the clock now.
Yeah, at this point, it's not only are you playing the defense, you're playing the clock, and with 6 minutes left, you're down 12. You're going to need some big threes, or you're going to need some fantastic defense, and we honestly haven't seen either of those from the prime time tonight. You can see the frustration on Tony's face. OG Malone, very upset. I don't know if he's upset with his performance or the team in general, but I mean, you're losing to a team that has a freshman starting, and he was hitting threes all day. It is 2 freshmen. Let me correct that. 2 freshmen with RJ and Kenny. And it's just interesting to see how well they're able to work with those players, find out what their abilities are, and really just play to their strengths.
Well, Saunders is also a freshman too.
Saunders, that's in fact, they got 3 freshmen on their starting 5. Of their starting 5, you put them with a great experienced player like Latrell, and look what he's able to do with them. Just truly brings them along. I mean, and they're going to be could be the dark horse, could be the winner overall, and that would be a fantastic accomplishment for the Warriors.
Fantastic Cinderella story overall this year.
So true.
E-Man Toms knocks down.
Interesting play. It looked like Zay just stopped playing defense. He starts talking to the ref, and that's what we don't like to see. Zay is always been a very chirpy player in intramurals. I remember last year with Terrence, almost got into a fight several times. But I kind of would just like to see Zay Carson play the game more and talk less.
As it's stolen away by the Warriors, Kenny Murray gets it up to E-Man Toms. E-Man Toms tries to get it to Alford for the dunk, but Tim Jackson was too close for comfort.
Oh, and
Murray with another
Kenny.
Steal.
Fantastic. 2
Up to
defensive
Toms.
plays. Oh.
And another brick as they try the alley-oop.
That's the second missed dunk. Now, they've both been very tough on, in defensive Latrell. They've been very tough dunks. But he does feel him a little sluggish as he jogs back to defense. Tim Jackson coming in hard as he does. With the Euro step, gets it to go, and he will go to the line for an and 1.
Video was kind of off the mark there. It was kind of viewing most of this pole right next to the camera. But Tim Jackson with the and 1, 52-39 with 4 minutes left to go. Definitely primetime working against the clock right now. But definitely odd for Latrell to miss his only 2 true dunks of the night. But again, they were a little tough as RJ Baskin goes for a deep 3.
Laser.
And the outlet pass that I alluded to before with Aaron Holmes about his brother Ethan. Can't get that one to go as there was footsteps in the background.
He heard the footsteps. He was going to try and draw the contact and make the bucket. Ends up not getting the call or the bucket. That's one of those plays where it's strategic. Are you going to wait, try and draw contact, or just go up right away? I think he made the right decision. It just didn't pay off that time.
Malone gets it to Holmes.
As Preston is unable to handle the quick pass from Ethan Holmes.
Well, that would have been a steal. Brandon Barrios
takes a big 3. Comes into the game shooting. I like it, but he doesn't get it to go. He's aggressive. We enjoy him being aggressive, but sometimes it's better just to come in, work the ball so you start getting some blood pumping, and then start taking shots.
Brandon Barrios isn't usually from our near side here. He's usually on the other side knocking them down.
True, and that could be taking him a little bit more out of his comfort zone as far as that's concerned.
Because I know myself, whenever I'm shooting a 3, I like to hit my sweet spot.
And what is your sweet spot's what? Anything behind the arc, correct?
Nah, I'm not really a big fan of the baseline tray, even though I have hit one every here and there. But more or less like a I don't really want to give away for any opponents.
Right. We don't want to be
watching.
given inside information. We are not the Patriots, so we don't want to be giving up too information.
But but I mean, everyone's probably seen my play over the years, and my play is usually top of key or wing. But I
Do you
mean,
feel that your play is mainly built up around you play good defense and that leads to good opportunities on offense? Would you consider yourself a defensive player or an offensive player or both?
I think this year more so, I've been more of a defensive player. I've really focused more on my offense in prior years, but this year focusing a lot on my defensive prowess, so to speak, because I have been more solid on defense this year than I have in the past.
True. We want to give a shout out to our listener. He's listening live right now, John Manning. It's fantastic having people tune in. It's just awesome. As Latrell goes for a nice play, doesn't get it. Zay Carson brings it out for the prime time. As they're rushing, trying to get buckets. 3 from Brandon Barrios. Will not go. Taken by RJ. We want to give a shout out to our fans who tune in every night. Our Road Warriors. Whoa! As an awesome alley-oop from Latrell Alfred. Now he's in his groin. He's got the Mamma Jamma going. But going back to John Manning, thanks for tuning in. We love you. We love all our followers. You can follow us on Twitter at Bryce_Cuck, or you can follow us on the Mikey Report. That's Mikey Edwards' Facebook page, or look for us on YouTube. That is the Mikey Report TMR.
We do actually have a Mikey Report Twitter, Mikey Report website, and a Mikey Report merchandise shop.
There you go.
CapEx.com/TMR shop. You can get a lot of different items, even tie clip or
that is fantastic.
Wallets, different types of stuff.
And is your face on them, or what is actually?
It's just the TMR logo that you see every so often, either in the broadcast or on the Mikey Report page. Or
that is fantastic. That's what we love to see. Getting people involved. As RJ goes for a dunk, can't get it to go.
56-46, Warriors lead. 1:19 left to go in tonight's contest.
And honestly, that 1:19 can't come soon enough for prime time. They just haven't been able to do what they do best.
Inbound play for the Warriors here. RJ gets it into Tom's. Primetime trying to do something as Carson fouls. 1:09 left to go in this game. John Manning, thank you for tuning in. I wasn't sure who we had live, and
that is John Manning. He sent me a text earlier in the night and said, I am tuning in to the TMR tonight live. So we just want to give a big thank you to him.
Yeah, and definitely good playing by you in the first game tonight, John, because that was some very good work. Very tough matchup against Super Squad. RJ Baskin at the line. Missed a 3.
And he's calling for the fans to make some noise for him. I guess they weren't making enough as much as he wanted. They're making some now.
Well, it's a little bit lighter.
I was gonna just
a little bit lighter tonight.
Very light. I wonder if it's with the homework piling up. People aren't able to get to the games as much as they like. I honestly think there was more people at the first game.
There were
the second game, but yeah, just sometimes later in the semester it gets tough. Work starts piling up.
Well, you also have the Easter break coming up, so a lot of people are trying to get ready for conventions or retreats or just going home for the weekend. I'm going to be sticking around because I'm going home the following weekend, so we might not have coverage on Thursday, April 9th, if there are games that night, because I will be home celebrating my mother's 60th birthday.
Wow, and that is awesome. That's great. You're going to get to go home and be with your mom. I know she's going to enjoy that. That'll be fantastic. We will miss you. There will be no TMR that night, but you can still come check it out live. Just come to the pit. We'll be here playing. You won't have the awesome commentating, but you'll still get to see a pretty awesome game.
Yeah, the only way we'll be able to actually have the video coverage is if I give Bryce here the information to log in and the camera, so that way he can get everything situated and whatnot.
We could definitely look into that. It might be a little early to do that. I don't want to have the too much responsibility. I don't want to mess up the great legacy, which is TMR. But we'll see. Maybe who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, 75 countries, about like 10,000 views, I think.
I didn't even know there were 75 countries in the world.
There's actually 206, I believe, or there
Wow.
might be more than 206. I think 206 is adult
I think
phones.
205 because they don't count Pluto anymore.
As we're in the waning seconds here.
33 seconds.
It should be up to about 34 seconds, I think, when that whistle was blown.
Again, we see Zay Carson chirping with the refs. I don't really like that from a senior player, a veteran player, as much as he is. He has a lot of problems with the refs. It's just, and it doesn't help him. It's never, arguing with the refs never helps you in any form. So
yeah, I actually noticed that when the Patriots were playing Lancaster Bible, back in January, or it might have been a different game. I don't remember, but Michael Stum, yeah, it was Lancaster. Michael Stum actually got technical for our. I think for arguing with the ref.
He wasn't even playing?
He's the assistant coaching, so.
And that's never good from the assistant coach because that sets the tone for the rest of the team. And if that's happening, it's kind of rough. As we see, 32 seconds left, 57-49 Warriors. Looks like they're going to pull away with another win. And you can't help but ask yourself, are the wins coming just because of Latrell? He's playing fantastic, never takes a night off. He's always here, and he's playing good.
Tonight wasn't really his best night, though. But like we have been stating all night, he's been facilitating more so. He's been the shepherd of this flock.
Yes, very true. That's a great analogy.
The captain of this Warriors team.
Yes.
So to speak, even though Kyrie Dixon, the coach, is actually listed as the captain.
I mean, that's a great pass to Kenny. And he'll lay it in, but no, a travel called. And that's unfortunate. And those are the little mistakes that because you have such a good player in Latrell, you can afford for the younger players to settle into their roles, allow them the freedom to make mistakes because they're going to. They're young. And that's where, it works well for them.
Carson deep three, no good. As out of bounds at 13.45 seconds. Latrell gets fouled, and it's the 1-1.
At this point in the game, you're down 8, 12 seconds. What's the point of fouling? You're just trying to drag in the game out. I don't understand the strategy behind it. I guess there is some, but I don't see it.
Pretty much, and Latrell goes a little underhanded free throw. Just having fun with it now, I think.
And that's what you got to do, and if you're not having fun playing intramurals, you might as well not play, and he truly, truly enjoys it.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in all levels of the game, except for the actual NBA.
Well, D-League NBA.
Not yet. Bloomington Flex is semi-pro.
Oh, semi-pro. Excuse me. Yeah.
So, actual pro league, not yet. So.
Well, if anyone can do it, he could.
Yeah. Barrios for 3, misses.
Yeah, he's over 4 on the night on threes. At what point are they going to tell him to stop shooting it?
Well, he's going to stop it here as this game's going to go final 58-49. We're going to end our coverage here. We'll be back tomorrow night. Staff will be playing tomorrow night. I do not know against who, but staff will be starting off for coverage at 9. Are you playing tomorrow night?
I believe we do have a game tomorrow night, so I don't know how much I'll be doing announcing. But
if you're playing at 10, then you can cover 9. I'll cover 10.
Awesome. Perfect. You let me know. Actually, I'll be there. Do you play at 9?
I play at 9.
All right, then I will be there to cover your game. Tune in at 9 o'clock with all the action from the Mikey Report. Have a fantastic night and stay classy.
Yes, stay classy, Phoenixville.